That's
Okay.
I left my book here. There are some pages on my table, Sidhu. I forgot to bring them. No, not that. Bring this little up here, like this. Yes. Okay, you brought everything?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
There's a pen there too.
So that is not required. No, this is not. Keep this also there. Yeah.
ॐ पूर्णमतः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. So, we are in the process of discussing this mantra, this passage. Atma va are drashtavyah, shrotavyah, mantavyah, nididhyasitavyah. So, Yajnavalkya ji, to create a background for explaining this, for emphasizing the need to know the self and to hear about it, to reflect about it, to meditate about it. He created a background in terms of showing Maitreyi the importance of Atma. By showing the importance of Atma as to how important the self is, that it is because of the love of the self that person thinks that they love other things. The person loves other things, occupies himself with other things for the sake of the love. So, throughout one's life, not just this life, but for lives together, person is just after satisfying the self, trying different ways, trying different means to satisfy the self. That it can satisfy or not, it is a different matter. But that attempt is there. All this is because of the love for the self. This is what Yajnavalkya ji told Maitreyi. Why? So that her mind will now be withdrawn. It will come back from every other thing. You have to pull your mind which is scattered today in thousands of other things. Today, the energies of the mind, the focus of the mind is scattered everywhere. And because of that, it is not able to focus on the self. But so far, the understanding was that whatever I need is out there. So it was there. But now, Yajnavalkya-ji, in a very unique manner, in a very unique way, he has showed that everything is for the sake of the love of the self. So you better come back to that. And you should know the self. For that, he used this method. This whole thing was used as a method or a means to bring her mind or to create vairagya, to create this sense of renunciation or dispassion. To create this dispassion in the mind, this means is used by Yajnavalkya. And then he said, since Atma is so important that through other things you try to come to Atma. You don't know this. We don't know this, but that is what we try to do. That is what we are in fact doing. So better know the self directly. You know the self directly. And how will you know? So the means are Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. So he said, why should you know the self? So he first of all said, see, Tasmad va are drashtavyah, Tasmad atma va are drashtavyah. O Maitreyi, therefore, you have to know the self. Drashtavyah means you should see the self. That seeing, perception is not the meaning. You can't see the self. You can see something. What can be the object of your seeing? That which has some qualities, some shape, some parts, something. Something should be there. Caste has to be there, name has to be there, form has to be there, qualities has to be, all these things have to be there for you to make anything object of your seeing. Atma doesn't have all this. So perception cannot mean literally seeing. So when it is said Atma vare drashtavyah, it should be seen, which means what Bhashyakara gives the meaning. Darshanarhaha. Understand that Atma is worth seeing. Darshanarhaha. The meaning is it is worth seeing. Darshana Vishayam Apadayitabhyah. What Shankaracharya Ji Maharaj is saying is that Atma is the only thing which is worth seeing in life. Which is worth seeing because this is the only thing really there. Rest of the things are inert. Inert cannot ever fulfill you in any way. So the only real thing, the only thing that really matters in life is Atma. So it is worth seeing. Darshanarhaha, drashtavyah means it is worth seeing. You better know this. And to tell you that it can be seen, it can be known only in this life. In other lives, in as much as in other species, in other life forms, it is not possible to have this kind of understanding of the self. Because as we discussed yesterday, that other species do not have the kind of means, the kind of intellect or mind which we possess. They also have feelings, they also have limited capacity of the intellect, all that is there. But that is limited to procuring things, eating, drinking and all that. It is just limited to that. To do something ulterior, to do something like this, to knowing this kind of viveka, what is right, what is wrong, what is beneficial to me, what will liberate me once. All this possibility is there only in the human intellect. Only in human intellect. In Kathopanishad it is said, in other realms too, there are so many other realms, up, above, below, in Patala, above. So many different places are there, lokas, Buhu, Buvaha, Suvaha, and down below. And everywhere life is there. But in none of them these possibility exist. This possibility is not there. Whether you go to Swargaloka or Patala Loka or anywhere, this is not there. Yes, Kathopanishad says that this is possible in Brahma Loka. In Brahma Loka this is possible. But how to go to Brahma Loka? That is again difficult. That is impossible, let me tell you. The kind of upasanas, the kind of worships and meditations and karmas that you require for being eligible to go there is next to impossible for us. So don't wait that I will go to Brahmaloka and do this. That is not going to be possible. So better do it now. This is the only chance. And there is a text called Sanat Sujata, which is taught by Sanat Kumara to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was very unhappy, sorrowful. When after the war, all his children have died. Of 100, all of them died. So naturally his whole clan was abolished. He was very, very sorrowful, grief-stricken. So that time Vidur is his brother. Vidura, to bring him out of this sorrow, he called Sanat Sujata. Sanat Sujata are wise man. Sanat Sujata were 4 brothers. All of them are wise. So they are invited. They are invited to teach Dhritarashtra. That time Sanat Sujata makes a very important statement. He says that Yova anyatha santam atmanam anyatha pratipadyate. He says if you know the self, which is of one nature, and if you know it different from what it is, if you know the self different from what it really is, then makes a very big statement. Kim tena na krutam papam chaurena atma apahar. If this is obstructing you, you can he says that self which is of one nature. What is the nature of the self? Fullness, happiness, existence, no limitations at all, not being subject to birth and death, all this. If you don't know it as it is, then he says, which papa have you not committed? He says, in that case, kim tena na krutam papam chaurena atma apaharina. Those who rob away the self of its true nature, rob away the self of its true nature by not knowing it correctly, is a big thief. We think that sin is only in speaking lie or stealing or hurting someone and things like that. But the real sin, the mother of all the sins, Papa, is what? Not knowing the self. Understand this. Not knowing the self, Atma, my true nature, not knowing my true nature, one's own nature, is the biggest sin that one commits. Why? Because eventually, not knowing the self as it is will lead you to transgress dharma sooner or later. Because in absence of this knowledge, as we have been discussing, desires will be there, ignorance is there. From ignorance, desires will arise. And as long as you can fulfill the desires in the line of dharma, then fine. But a time may come when the pressure of desires becomes so much, just as it becomes in certain cases. Ravana's pressure became so much that he had to do all kinds of things. He had to kidnap others' wife. snatch away others' kingdom. And what did he not do? What did he not do? He committed all kinds of sins. Why? Who propelled him? Who propelled him? His desires, which were not correct. And that forced him, the pressure of desire was so much that he could not handle. And a time came when righteousness is kept aside. And then by fair means or foul, you will do everything. It is not, don't think that anybody likes to commit sin. Nobody likes it. But they lose the game before their own self. They lose the game. They can't handle themselves. That mastery is not there. The pressure of desires overpowers your understanding of dharma. And then you have to. People say, I don't want to take alcohol. I don't want to smoke. I don't want to take drugs. But I can't help it. When I don't, once you form a habit, then without that withdrawal symptoms and this and that, so many things you can't handle, then you become a slave. You become a slave of all these things. So, this is going to happen. So, the mother of all the sins, all wrongdoings, unrighteousness is nothing but ignorance. Ignorance of the nature of self. From this, everything will come. That is why it is very, very necessary to know the self as it is. As it is. Why deprive the self of its happiness? It is happiness, and still by not accepting that, by not understanding that, today I deprive myself. Self is of the nature of happiness, but I don't know that. And then I beg from the world. So what does it happen? I deprive. I myself become responsible of not giving the self what really belongs to the self. Not knowing is as good as not having it. Not knowing is as good as not having it. This is what ignorance does. Ignorance is not an ordinary thing. And that is what we are born with. We have come with ignorance. We have not had to work for it. We have had it. Now what we have to work for? Removing ignorance. That is what we have to do. When one doesn't do that, ignorance will not go. And when is that to be done? In this life. In this life, you have to do it. So Yajnavalkya is saying, Atma vare drashtavyaha. It has to be known. There is no choice. There are certain things in life which has no choice. If you don't do it, gone. So self also has to be known. Imagine what kind of foundation the life will have when you don't know yourself. When you don't know yourself, one by one mistakes are committed. Because the foundation is, I don't know myself, so I don't know you also. I don't know Ishwarant. I don't know anything correctly. All wrong things, all notions, all wrong judgments are made. I look upon myself as individual, look upon you as different from me, look upon Ishvara also as different from me. And then there will be fear and desires and kama and krodha and lobha and moha, raga, dvesha, everything will just follow. These are all natural offsprings. Natural offsprings of ignorance. Just as Ravana was there, then how many heads he had? 10. 5 this side, 5 this side. All from ignorance. Then kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, so many things. 10 heads means lots of problems. 10 head is not easy. 10 heads because so much of desires and so much of anger that he needed all this. This is one way of explaining. Hiranyakashipu also. Then you become violent, you become aggressive, ego rises day by day, and then I am the only one. You all have to be under me. The needs of the ego then becomes altogether different. Cause is where? Where is the cause? Cause is in not knowing the self as it is. In Ishavasya Upanishad also, it brings out, Ishavasya Upanishad in third mantra says, Asurya namate lokaha andena tamasa vrutaha. When people don't know the self, they are given to sense pleasures. Naturally, you want happiness and you don't find it in yourself. Here you see vacuum. Here in your own self, there is vacuum. So where will you look for it? Naturally, outside. Then the degree will increase. First I was taking just one peg or some little bit. Then little more. And today, what will happen? Gradually you become addict. You are addicted. One cigarette, another. Then chain smoker. I'm just giving you simple examples. So this happens. Gradually you become dependent. Understand there is no sukham, no happiness in dependence. When for your needs you are dependent upon others, then the remote control is in their hands. Remote control. They choose to give, they choose not to give. Their whims, their fancies, because they decide. When I am dependent upon this will decide whether to be favorable to me or not. So I am always looking at this one. Please give, please give, please be kind, please. Poor Atma is saying, I am here, look at me. I don't need anybody's favor. Atma is here all the while. It sees, why don't you look at me? All the time you are looking outside. There is no need. Just look at me. You disown me. You disrespect me. You condemn me. And then go out. This is exactly what is happening. Just as a millionaire's son, millionaire and billionaire son, he goes and asks to other people, please give me $100. So this is insult to his father. This is insult to him. Something like that. Atma is not even father, Atma is right here. And still we ask, beg. Our mental condition is such. Why all this? Because you don't know. Not knowing does all this. Not this if I don't know, okay. But not knowing the self. Not in ordinary big sin. So Upanishad says, Asurya namate lokaha andena tamasa vrutaha. The result will be that they will from one stage to another, they will go to such places, such conditions where things will be more and more covered with darkness. Darkness is really here. Darkness is really here. So, the andena tamasa vrutaha tamste pretyabhi gachanti. After death also that is going to happen. Tamste pretyabhi gachanti ye kecha atma hano janaha. For whom this happen? Atma hano janaha. For those who kill themselves. People kill themselves, suicide. What is suicide? Hanging. Or in some ways killing oneself. This is as good as that. We kill ourselves. Committing suicide is really killing. But when you don't know the self as it is, as it is. You are killing yourself. Killing yourself. When you disown, when you don't accept the self, understand the self, it is as good as killing. Atma hano janaha. Upanishad says. Similar, and that is why Atma should be known. Reality should be known and understand. When you know the self, as Yajnavalkya said, then you know everything. You don't have to separately know each and everything. Once you know Atma, you know everything. Once you love Atma, everything is also loved. Separately, you don't have to go and love everyone. When you love the self, everybody is included because there is just one self. In you also I am there. In he also I am there. Where am I not? Sarva bhutastam atmanam. Sarva bhutastam, in all the bhutas, in all the things which exist, Atma is there. In everyone I abide. Atma abides in everything. And in me, sarva bhutani cha atmani. And in me, all the beings. I in all the beings, one way of saying. And all of you in me. If this knowledge is there, then nobody can say that I didn't know this, I didn't know that. In details, you may not know other things, but essentially you know it. When you know the gold, essentially you know each and every ornament. Yeah, where it was made, what is the design, which goldsmith made it, from where did you buy. These details you may not know. But one thing you know, even the necklace, golden necklace that Elizabeth may be wearing, I will not even have a chance to go and see it. But I know it. What do I know? I know the gold in my finger. When I know the gold in my finger, in my ring, I know it everything. I know everywhere. This is how the knowledge of essence is, tattva. That is why Yajnavalkya ji, Atma va arit drashtavyah, it should be known. It's a serious thing. Without this, really, you may know other things, but you don't know this, then what? It is as good as zero. Zero. We know a lot today about what is going on elsewhere. On moon and on this and that, Jupiter and this, Mars and what is going, we send things also over there, and what is in Iceland and what is in Antarctica and what is there and what is, this we know. But here, I don't know anything. This is to be known first. When you know aham, you know idam. But I forget this. I overlook this and try to search in idam. It's not there, it is here. Here is everywhere. That is why Atma Vare Drashtavyah. But how should I know that? So the means is given. I will not know myself. Okay, you Swamini ji, you said that Atma is yourself. You know it. So I sit down. Then Atma will not pop up. You have to know it from someone. Because it is right here. But I am not aware of it. So I go to someone. And as we talked about it on the first day, what is the pramanam? What is the valid means of knowledge for the self? Shastra, that is Upanishads. They are the valid source of knowledge of the self. Upanishad eka gamyam, it is to be known only from Upanishad, because Upanishad is not written by anyone. The knowledge which Upanishads have has come out from Ishvara. They are there, and that is why we can easily put our faith in it. Easily trust what Upanishads have to say. But Upanishads also do not talk to me. And I cannot read it on my own. Not easy to understand what they are saying. Therefore, I need to go to a teacher. I need to go to an acharya who can deliver the message to me. Because they know how to handle the words, how to impart the knowledge. That is why Shravanam has to take. See, word Shravanam is said. Atma vare drashtavyah, but how? Shrotavyah. You must hear. Shrotavyah. Tavya pratyay in Sanskrit is it is an injunction. You must listen. Tavya pratyaya, this tavya shrotavyah. Tavya pratyaya is adesha, command. It is an injunction. You must hear about it. Hear from whom? So Shabda is Pramanam. Shabda, words of the Vedas, words of the Upanishads are the valid source of knowledge. But how do I get the words of Upanishads? From the one who knows it. So the teachers, Acharya. And which kind of Acharya? Who knows the Upanishads thoroughly. In Mundaka Upanishad it is said that when I realize that what I am seeking is nowhere, what I am seeking is nowhere to be found, then what should I do? I should go to a teacher. Which kind of teacher? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. One who is Shrotriya as well as Brahmanishta. Shrotriya means one who is well versed with the entire Vedas and the Sampradaya. And one who is also very well abiding in the self. One who knows how to teach because he has learned from a teacher. The student himself has learned from the teacher, well-versed teacher. So he knows how to teach. If you have not learned from anyone, then supposing there is someone who says, I didn't go to anyone and I have learnt it myself, you better remain away from that. Because only because they may know it. But everybody doesn't possess the art of communication. Everybody cannot handle. These words of the Shastra also have to be handled properly. Even if you know grammar, even if you know other things, but still on your own you cannot. Why? Simply because Atma, the self, is not the direct meaning of any word. Now listen carefully. Just listen carefully. When I say, what is the name of this flower? Lily. Lily. When I say lily, then you have the picture of lily before you. And if it is right before you, then the word lily corresponds to this object, lily. The word lily has this object called lily before it. When I say table, then table you have seen. You know what the word table means because there is an object called table corresponding to the word table. Chair. Then you visualize that even if the chair is not before you, you have seen it, and moment the chair word is uttered, you can see the chair before you in your mind. When I say Atma, what is the object coming before you? What shape? What qualities? What form? If it comes, it is not Atma. No, Swamini ji, I am seeing something. I see light coming out. I see Vishnu before me, Tirupati ji before me. I see Shiva before me. Yes, that is what you see, correct. But that is not Atma. That is not Atma. Precisely because Atma has no form, no shape. If it was a form, you could have seen, eyes could have seen it. If it had some sound, if Atma had sound, ears could have heard it. If Atma had smell, then just as This has smell, I can smell it. If it had taste, my tongue could have tasted it. If it had some sense of touch, I could have touched it. But Atma doesn't have any of this. Therefore, our sense organs has no reach. No reach at all. So stop it. Stop trying to see. Stop trying to hear. Stop all this. Then how to? I have no other means. Okay, I will use my mind. But mind also can see what? Something which I have seen before, something which I can visualize. Then I will have some idea. But I have never seen it. So understand, mind also doesn't reach there. Words also doesn't reach there. So the available means which I have, the sense organs and the mind and the intellect doesn't reach. This is little, everybody just awake and pay attention and try to understand this. So words do not reach there, minds do not reach there. So that way, Atma, the self or the reality cannot be objectified by me. Cannot be objectified by me just as this is objectified. Okay. If I cannot objectify, plus if it could be objectified, if it had been objectified, then what will happen? Do you realize? Just as I see this object, lily, it becomes seen for me, drishya for me, similar, and I am the seer. I am the seer and this is seen. Similarly, if I could see Atma in meditation or other times, then what will happen? What will happen? Think. It would be like this object. Seen, seer. Then it will be different from me. You realize? You realize that? It would be different from me. Then again, who am I? Then again, I am back to square one. Who am I? I understood Atma. I saw Ishvara finished. Now, but then again, problem, who am I? That remains intact. So I am back to square one. Nothing is achieved. So, it is good that it is not seen. And you need not see it, need not hear it. Why? Because it is that from which the eyes get the capacity to see, ears get the capacity to hear, smell gets the capacity to smell, tongue gets the capacity to see, that they are all able to function, go to their objects, is thanks to Atma. That mind can think, that mind can visualize, is because of the self. Understood? It is the very source because of which, not from, but because of which all these are working. So, Atma is the ear of the ear, we can say. Shrotrasya shrotram, ear of the ear. Chakshushaha chakshu, eyes of the eyes. Mind of the mind. Intellect of the intellect. You are following what I am saying? As I said, now wake up properly. Use your mind. Huh? You have to see when Shravanam is the thing where the self journey begins. Shravanam is pivotal. It is with Shravanam only that this journey of knowing the self begins. So you can't go to sleep. You have to be very awake and attentive. Be here. Listen, because this is how only you will come to know the self. You have to know. Know means through the words. And it is it is not the object of any words. So we have to pay attention and go beyond the words. It is not the object of the word and still it is me. Understood? it is because of me that the mind is working. Because of me, the consciousness, the self, that the sense organs are working. So they cannot see the source. Eyes can see the object, but it cannot see its source. I'll show you. With these glasses, I see you all. So without then, my vision may not be that clear. But when I put on the glasses, I see you all. Now, okay, Swamini ji, with these glasses we will see ourselves. Can you do that? You can't do that. With the telescope, you see the stars and constellation. Can you invert the telescope and see yourself? Tell me, think and tell me. Can you see? Why? Because the eyes through which the telescope sees cannot see itself, cannot see the very eyes. Telescope, we can see through the telescope because of the eyes, but telescope cannot be used to see the eyes. You follow? You cannot invert the telescope to see the eyes, because who will see? Who will see? Understood? So, Atma is not the object of seeing, smelling. It can never be objectified. Then how this then, Swamini ji? Words are of no use. Words can be used only to talk about other things, not of Atma. No. But Shastra is very clear. Upanishad is very clear that only Shabda is the means. Shabda of the Shastra. Words of Shastra are the means. How? Because, now listen, even though Atma cannot be an object of any word or any sense organs, still it can be known. Still it can be known. Why? Because it is me. Because it is my very self. That is why it need not be seen. It need not be heard. It need not be objectified. It has to be known as what? I. And when the object is right before you, then the words will work. Supposing, it is a very unique way that the words of the Shastra gives us the knowledge of the self. I'll give you an example. See, one day this incident really happened. What we are trying to show you is this, that even though you cannot objectify with words or any of the sense organs or the mind, still, words itself will work. This is the secret. Words itself will work. How? I will show you. Why? Because the Atma is not away from you. Only thing is you don't recognize it. So, let me tell you. This incident really happened. Once Swamiji was going from Delhi to Rishikesh. From Delhi to Rishikesh, he was going in a flight, Air India flight or any other flight. Then there was one foreigner, an American, also in the flight. And he was sitting beside Swamiji. And then sometimes you talk to each other. Even though you are strangers, you start talking. So Swamiji asked him. Some people may not. I know I will not talk to anyone. Some people, are very friendly. So Swamiji started talking. He said, where are you going? Where are you coming from? How do you like India? And all that. He said, I have come here just to meet Swami Dayananda. He says, I have come here to meet Swami Dayananda. And that is why I am going from Delhi, means in this flight, I have caught this flight to go to Rishikesh, to go to Swami Dayananda ashram in Purani Chari. I am going to meet him. He is there, very great person, very great Mahatma, very wise man of knowledge. Then Swamiji said, I am Swami Dayananda. I am Swami Dayananda. Now understand, he was talking to Swami Dayananda. but he didn't know. But these words created the knowledge. Why? Because Swami Dayananda was right there. He was right there. The object was there, but it was not recognized. Object means the person was there, but was not recognized. Even though he was talking, it's right beside him, but was not recognized because of ignorance. But the words, I am Swami Dayananda, what did the words do? Made him recognize. Recognition came. Now here at least Swamiji Dayananda is a person who can be seen. But in case of Atma, now Atma, you don't know Atma. But I say, you are Atma. You are the very self. Then you will not see anything. But then Atma will be recognized. The I which is constantly coming out. I. Just close your eyes, then you will feel I. We are never away from I. We are never away from I. When I say I, not the woman, not the body, not the mind, but I still is there. That is Atma. That is Atma. So these words enable you to recognize what you are experiencing every moment. What you are experiencing every moment is what? Is what? I is there. I got up. I took breakfast. I was sleeping. I dreamt. I am walking. I am talking. Remove all those functions. What is there? I. Plain, simple I, which is just I, existence, consciousness, happiness. Is it any moment away from you? Any moment, tell me. Never away. Never away. And when the teacher says that you are, that you are, that is consciousness, that you are not seeing anything. But now you need not see. Why? Because it is me. I doesn't require to be seen. Because what you see will go away. This what you see, the body will go. Sense organs will go. But what will not go? This I. That is the self. Understood? So even though the word Atma does not become the direct meaning of any word, but since it is not away from me, then I just remove whatever is covering the self, which is subject to coming and going, which is, incidental. The woman in me is incidental. The speaker in me is incidental. The talker in me is incidental, agantuka. But what is inherent? What is inherent? I, aham. This aham is Atma. Not the speaker, not the wife, not the mother, not the sister, not the mother-in-law. No, none of this. Speaker, talker, dreamer, walker, thinker. Come and go, come and go, come and go. But what doesn't come and go? Child comes and goes. Adolescent comes and goes. Youth comes and never comes back. We want it to come back. It doesn't come back. Old age also comes and then goes. Good goes. But then, now in another birth, now child again. Balya Dishvapi in Dakshinamurti, you hear this, you come across this verse. Balya Dishvapi Jagrada Dishu Tatha. In all the stages of life, Balya, then Yuva, then Vruddha. In all these stages comes and goes, one by one. What doesn't come and go? What doesn't come and go? Vyavruttasu. In all this which is incidental, coming and saying bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Anuvartamanam. Anuvartamanam. What is constantly there? I. I was child. I was youth. I was senior. I am old. That will also go. But I will not go. This body will go. I will get into another body. But if I know this I, there will be no coming and going. Asti bhati priyam. Existence, I am existence, pure existence, with no tails, no qualification, just pure. Over that one costume came and went, another came and went, another came and went. Sleep comes and goes, dream comes and goes, waking also comes and goes. We are not awake all the time. Once in a while we go to sleep, even in class. And with the subject is very difficult, let us go. Let us go to sleep. Doze off. But come back. Dream, come back. Waking, come back. Coming, going. Everything in life is subject to coming and going. Think what doesn't come and go? Only self. Only self is ever there. The creation also comes and goes. Shrushti, Sthiti, Laya. Creation, then sustenance, and then dissolution. Shrushti, Sthiti, Pralaya. That also happens. What doesn't come and go, which is ever there, ever there? Atma. And when it is a you are that, then don't visualize a woman, don't visualize a teacher, don't visualize a son, daughter, mother. No, just I. I need not be visualized. It is self-proclaiming. Self-proclaiming. I. Self-evident. Just as some Shivalingas are Swayambhu. Who made them? Nobody made them. Swayambhu. Swayambhu. Just an example I am giving. Similarly, Atma is self-revealing. Self-revealing means you don't, every other things in this world need to be revealed. They need another light to be revealed. Don't think that everything on this earth is revealed because of sun, at night because of moon. Then sun is on itself revealing? No. Sun also because of consciousness. That is why we read the verse in doing Aarti. What is that verse? Na tatra suryo bhati, na chandra tarakam, nema vidyuto bhanti, kutoyam agni. We tell Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan, I am showing this light to you. You, because of whom? Surya is able to light up everything. Even moon is able to light up everything. All of them are able to do what they are doing because of you. And to you I am showing the light. This small light. That is my audacity. But still, this is out of reverence, out of love, out of devotion that I am doing this to you. That is what the priest says while showing light to the Ishvara. Similarly, self, Atma, is the light of lights. Light of all the lights. It is such a light which doesn't need another light. Doesn't need another light. We are talking about whom? Atma Katha. Atma Katha is going on. This is real me. This is real I. And it can be taught by whom? One who knows. One who handles the words of the Upanishads. One who can do that. Precisely because Atma is not available for the direct meaning of the words. If I say pen, you can see pen. But when I say Atma, it's not possible. So you have to do so much. You have to remove the coverings, remove the incidental things, and then what remains is self. Here also, I need not be revealed. It is self-revealing. Self-revealing. So that is pointed out. So Atma is there, we don't have to create. No Sakshatkara is required. Otherwise people are, when will Sakshatkara happen? Sakshatkara means when he will come before me. He is right there. He need not come. You pay attention. You pay attention. Understood? Because he's, just as Swami Dayananda was there. He had to say, I am Swami Dayananda. Similarly, Atma is saying, I am searching Ishvara. I am searching Atma. Atma is saying, I am Atma. Look at me. But you can't see because it has no form. Understood? So this is to be handled by the teacher. That is why Shrotavyaha, you listen. You listen from the words of the teacher. Only that is going to work. Because it is there and not recognized. Teacher brings that recognition. Teacher brings that recognition. That is why keep on listening. So, Sadhan Panchakam, in that Shankaracharya ji says, Shruti Shiro Vakyam Samakarnyatam. May you very well, for as long as required, Samakarnyatam, may you very well, Samyak Akarnyatam, may you very well listen and understand the words of the Upanishads coming from the teacher. There has to be mediator, teacher, because Upanishads don't talk. So you have to go to a teacher who can explain Upanishads to you. But there is no escape from, we can't escape. This has to be there. So very well listen. And Paunav Punyena. How long should I live? As long as you don't understand. As long as you don't understand. There is no limit. One course is enough? No. If you have not understood, not enough. Paunav Punyena Shravanam Kuryat. How long should I do? Again and again. As long as it doesn't become crystal clear. But what else is required with Shravanam? Mananam, Nididhyasanam. That we will take up in the other class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.